Dear student, this is lecture 18. Lecture 18, Polity. Okay. In this lecture, we will see state legislature. State legislature. State legislature is also known as Vidhan Mandal. Okay. But in order to have proper understanding, we will compare state legislature with parliament. In parliament, we have bicameralism, bicameral house. That means we have two houses. One is Lok Sabha, other one is Raj Sabha. And in bicameralism, when we compare Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha, in certain state we have unicameral system, and in certain state we have bicameral system. So what is the issue, and from where the question will be asked? See, the question will be asked, in which state of India we have bicameral legislatures. Okay, this will be the direct question. So what is the bicameral state? You have both legislative assembly and you have legislative council. The legislative assembly is known as Vidhan Sabha and the legislative council is known as Vidhan Parishad. Okay. And if we all see, in India, there are only 6 states which have both legislative assembly and legislative council. So what are name of these state where you have both legislative assembly and legislative council? It is very simple. From UP and Bihar, where people go maximum to work, Maharashtra and Karnataka. But before going to Maharashtra and Karnataka, they go and study in Andhra Pradesh. But Andhra Pradesh is not only Andhra Pradesh, it is also Telangana. So now you have all the 6 states. You can remember them all the time. Okay? Legislative Assembly and Legislative Council, along with the Office of Governor, is part of state legislature. But there are certain states in which there is only state legislative assembly. So there are 22 states as such. So there is only Office of Governor and Legislative Assembly in those 28 states. Again, in order to have better understanding, we'll compare it with Parliament of India. Parliament of India comprises of Lok Sabha, Raj Sabha, and President of India. Office of President of India. Okay, this is very important for you to remember. Lok Sabha is also House of People. It is also lower house and it is also a representative of miniature nation, because people from all parts of India get elected. So it's a representative of miniature nation, whereas Raj Sabha, House of State, upper house. Why it is known as upper house? So most of the time, what we have heard is that it is known as upper house because the age of becoming its member is 30 years, whereas age of becoming member of Lok Sabha is 25 years. So age gap is only 5 years. So I don't think that this could be the reason of it calling a upper house. It is known as upper house because it is more meritorious. Meritorious in nature. Here there are 12 nominated members. 12 nominated members. Who nominates them? They are nominated by the President of India, and they belong to the fields of art, literature, science, sports. Okay. And these people are considered that they are contributing to the nature of debate of Raj Sabha. So initially, when the Constitution Assembly envisaged Raj Sabha, so they believed that the Raj Sabha will be more meritorious, the debates will be not a political debate. But unfortunately, it has today become an arena of settling political disputes. The debates are totally in political color, but for a different reason. The Constitution Assembly has called it upper house because it is more meritorious. Okay? Its debate was considered to be more qualitative. Okay, क्वालिटी इसके डिबेट का बहुत ज्यादा होगा. It will be highly constructive, and this will uphold the federalism because it is the house of state. So you must know the number of Raj Sabha member coming from major state and from northeast. Okay, now let's see legislative assembly and legislative council. But before that, we have to understand that Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha relationship of equality. There is a relationship of equality. Okay. Except in case of money bill, Raj Sabha and Lok Sabha enjoys equality. Whereas in case of legislative assembly and legislative council, there is no such parity. In fact, the legislative assembly decides whether there should be legislative council or not. Legislative assembly is superior to legislative council. Why? Because it is on the legislative assembly's will that legislative council comes into existence, or legislative council is erased from existence. As per article 169, as per article 169, ठीक है. इसमें होता क्या है? स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव assembly passes a bill with special majority. Under article 368, स्पेशल मेजोरिटी अंदर 368 क्या बोलता है कि इट शुड हैव एब्सोल्यूट मेजोरिटी. जस्ट अ मोमेंट. It should have absolute majority. इट शुड हैव एब्सोल्यूट मेजोरिटी, मतलब जितना मेंबरशिप है उसका 50% से ज्यादा एक, ठीक है, प्लस 2/3 ऑफ ऑल प्रेजेंट मेंबर, 2/3 ऑफ मेंबर प्रेजेंट एंड वोटिंग, 2/3 ऑफ मेंबर प्रेजेंट एंड वोटिंग। जब ये लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली पास कर देगा तो पार्लियामेंट भी इसको सिंपल मेजोरिटी से पास कर देगा, ठीक है। और अगर स्टेट ने बोला कि लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल हटाना है तो हटेगा, स्टेट ने बोला बनाना है तो बनेगा। दिस इज इट, ठीक है। पर आर्टिकल 368 के थ्रू इसको स्टेट ने पास किया है स्पेशल मेजोरिटी। तो आर्टिकल 169 में साफ साफ लिखा है कि 169 में जो भी चेंजेस आएगा उसके लिए देयर विल बी नो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट, ठीक है। जिस जिस स्टेट में होगा उसके लिए कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है। तो पहला सवाल, द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन विच विल कम टू यू इज दैट legislative council owes its existence to legislative assembly, true or false? Yes, true. Legislative council is formed by article 169. The state legislative assembly passes a bill with special majority under article 368. So what is the special majority under article 368? Absolute majority plus 2/3 members of members present and voting, ठीक है। पर बोला जाता है आर्टिकल 368 इज फॉर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट, पर आर्टिकल 169 में साफ लिखा गया है कि जो भी उसके अंदर चेंजेस होंगे उसके लिए कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट नहीं होगा। तो इसीलिए आर्टिकल 169 enforces that there will be no constitutional amendment, simply the parliament will pass a legislation with simple majority and legislative assembly either will come into existence or will be erased from the existence. Hope this is clear. लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल owes its existence to the legislative assembly of state, ठीक है। वेयर एज लोकसभा एंड राज्यसभा दे आर ऑन इक्वल टर्म्स, राज्यसभा डज नॉट ओज इट्स एग्जिस्टेंस टू द लोकसभा, ठीक है, ये समझ लीजिए। दूसरा, लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल 6 years, ठीक है। 1/3 ऑफ इट्स मेंबर रिटायर एवरी 2 years, ठीक है। तो सेम एज राज्यसभा इसमें। दूसरा है मेंबरशिप ऑफ लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल क्या होगा। देखो, स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर को समझो आप, ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर। स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर क्या कहता है कि आपका स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली जो है, योर स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली should have minimum 60 members and not more than 500 members maximum, ठीक है। वेयर एज स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल wherever it is there, wherever it is there, इसका मिनिमम मेंबर्स क्या हो सकता है 40, मैक्सिमम नॉट मोर देन 1/3 ऑफ टोटल स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली। फॉर एग्जाम्पल इन बिहार, एग्जाम्पल बिहार, टोटल नंबर ऑफ मेंबरशिप ऑफ लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली क्या है, टोटल एमएलए 243, ठीक है। टोटल नंबर ऑफ एमएलसी मैक्सिमम कितना हो सकता है नॉट मोर देन 2/3। ठीक है, तो इसका थर्ड कीजिए, 243/3, 81। तो बिहार में कितना है? 75। 81 इज द मैक्स मैक्सिमम दे कुड गो, बट दे आर हैविंग 75. So now you are able to understand and retain this example always. ठीक है, now you will have to also see, any doubt over here Tagun?
नहीं सर।
क्लियर है ना?
जी।
बहुत बढ़िया। ठीक है, नेक्स्ट सी how the composition of state legislative council is there, and this is very important. Composition of state legislative council। ठीक है, देखो, नंबर वन, 1/3 of state legislative council is to be elected by state legislative assembly. So you will tell me, sir, nominated members of state legislative assembly, will they participate? See, after 2020, there is no nominated member in state legislative assembly. Okay, there is all elected member in state legislative assembly. So the elected members or the members of state legislative assembly will elect 1/3 of the members of state legislative council. ठीक है, 1/3 of state legislative council will be elected by representatives of local self government। ठीक है, थर्ड, 1/12 of state legislative council will be elected by teachers, by teachers above secondary grade. That means above secondary grade means higher secondary, above the secondary grade, higher secondary teachers, those who are teaching in 11 and 12, higher secondary, provided they are the domicile of the state, provided they are domicile, that means voter of the state. In Bihar, there are many teachers who are teaching from UP. Okay. Fourth, 1/12 of the state legislative council should be elected by students of graduate program, either they are graduate or they are in university. ठीक है, of graduate program. Fifth, 1/12 to be nominated by governor, by governor. Nitish Kumar is nominated by governor or something like that. No, he is sorry, he is elected by the state legislative assembly. Okay, these nominated members must be from arts, literature, science, social science, or cooperative background. Okay, now you see 1/3, 1/3, 1 by 12, 1 by 12 equals to, when you add them all, it becomes 100%. So you should always remember 1 by third to be elected by state legislative assembly, 1 by third to be elected by state legislative council, sorry, 1 by third to be elected by local self government, 1 by 12th elected by teachers, 1 by 12th elected by graduates, 1 by 12 nominated by governor. So this question will always come in your examination if you are preparing for EPFO or UPSC. Even for your one state PCS, they may come. Okay. In your state PCS, they will ask you question about which states have legislative councils. So I have mentioned over here which states have legislative council: UP, Bihar, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Arunachal, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. They will ask you which article. In mains examination, they will ask you about this detail. So Article 169. So Legislative Council owes its existence to Legislative Assembly. ठीक है, and Legislative Assembly should pass it with special majority under Article 368. Even though Article 368 is used for Constitutional Amendment Act, whenever we are creating Legislative Council, there is no constitutional amendment. Why? Because as per Article 169, it is specifically written anything under its proceeding, there should be no constitutional amendment. Okay, so we have discussed about legislative council, legislative councils and legislative states membership. So what is the maximum membership of a state legislative assembly? 60 maximum, minimum 60, 500 maximum. State legislative council 40 minimum, not more than 1/3 of total strength of state legislative assembly should be maximum. So Bihar has total number of 243 MLAs. ठीक है, total number of MLC is 75, which is less than 81. 81 is 1/3 of 243. ठीक है, क्या चीफ मिनिस्टर chief minister be member of state legislative council? Legislative council? Yes. Answer is yes. Nitish Kumar is a state legislative council member since he has become chief minister of Bihar. Till date, after becoming the chief minister, he has neither contested Lok Sabha or legislative assembly. He has been member of legislative council. That's it. ठीक है, अब देखिए, अब आपको क्वेश्चन आ सकता है कि व्हाट इज द बिजनेस परफॉर्म इन द लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल. ठीक है, देखिए, इन राज्यसभा आई हैव टोल्ड यू, नाउ वी विल सी विथ राज्यसभा एंड लोकसभा. ठीक है, एंड देन वी विल सी इट विथ लेजिस्लेटिव assembly and legislative council. Then you will be more in case of understanding it. See, what is legislatures? ठीक है, the legislature, what is legislations? ठीक है, so the legislations are made in form of passage of bill. पैसेज ऑफ बिल में क्या हो सकता है? द पीपल दोज हु आर इन पावर दे मे एग्री एंड पीपल दोज हु आर इन नॉट इन पावर दे मे अपोज, राइट? बट देयर इज ऑल्सो रिजोल्यूशन. ठीक है, पैसेज ऑफ बिल एंड रिजोल्यूशन. व्हाट इज रिजोल्यूशन? रिजोल्यूशन इज ए काइंड ऑफ सेल्फ कंटेन्ड मोशन. इज सेल्फ कंटेन्ड motion. So what is the difference? See, here there is no disagreement. Both the opposition and people, those who are in power, they are on the same side. There is no possibility of opposition. For example, to increase the salary of member of parliament, Do you think the leader of opposition or the party which is in opposition will oppose it? If there is increase in salary of member of parliament, both the government and the people, those who are not in power, they will be supporting it, because everyone is getting benefited. Okay? So such kind of things are resolution. If they want to pass for day to day activity anything, it will be passed, everyone will agree. If they are passing for appointment of certain person with due process, it will be passed. So such things are known as resolution, which are self-contained motion, where there is no nervous, uh, I would say, uh, what? There is no nervous understanding or misunderstanding. Both of them are on the same side, so there is no disagreement. So both of them are agreeing. So this is known as resolution. The resolutions provide motion or the pace to the parliamentary activity, because everyone is on same side. Bill, even the government which is in majority, they try to make sure that the majority members from opposition, they also support. This is known as parliamentary, I would say this is known as parliamentary dealing. Okay, how they are able to win the opposition. For example, Biju Janata Dal, BJD, they were in opposition to the BJP. Okay, they were not in power, but BJD almost support BJP in almost every bill. Why? Because the BJP was able to win over to the member belonging to BJD, and even a member those who were from Andhra Pradesh, Jagan Mohan Reddy's party, they were also supporting BJP now and then. So BJP was able to manage those opposition member. Okay, this is also a form of parliamentary negotiation. How a party, those who are enjoying power, they are able to take the opposition with them. But BJP cannot take opposition parties such as Congress with them, because they are the principal opposition party. Okay, so legislations are made in form of passage of bill. Now let's see what are the types of bills. I have taught this earlier also, so I am reiterating it. Ordinary bill, financial bill, then we have constitutional amendment act, constitutional amendment bill under article 368. What kind of majority is needed for article 368? Absolute majority plus 2 by 3rd member present and voting. ठीक है? What is absolute member? Absolute majority. Absolute majority चाहिए. It has two conditions. Absolute majority, that means more than 50% of the total membership of the house. For example, we have 545, the total membership of Lok Sabha. So you should have, it is actually 543, no more nominated member. You should have absolute majority, that means you should have 272. First condition. Second, 2/3 of the total member present and voting. For example, if there is only 350 members present, ठीक है, तो 2/3 इसका कितना होगा? 116, ठीक है, but 116 into 2, 232. So what should be the total members who should be able to vote? It should be more than 272. In this case, second case, if there are 500 members present and voting, 2/3 into 500, 166 into 2. So what is this? 332. So in case 500 members are voting, in that case you should have 332. Why? It is 2/3 of the present member voting and absolute majority both. ठीक है, so 2/3 of the present member voting plus absolute majority. So if there are around 540 members present and voting. 540 members present and voting. ठीक है, तो 2/3. ठीक है, what is this? 180,360. So 360 members should vote in favor of Constitutional Amendment Act, because it should be more than 360 and more than 272. 272 by default it will be more, but it is, if there is 350 members, 2/3 is 232 plus 272. So 272 minimum government should get in their favor. So these are two conditions. One by absolute majority. Number one is absolute majority. Second is 2/3 of the present members and voting. ठीक है, hope you are able to understand. Understood? ठीक है, because few members will abstain from voting, so they will leave the house. So present member and voting. ठीक है, both the conditions should be fulfilled. Financial bills, they are of two types: money bill and other financial bill. Other financial bill of two types: category 1 and category 2. ठीक, money bill is under which article? Article 1101. Other financial bill of two types under Article 117 subclause 1, Article 117 subclause 3. ठीक है, now we know what is the difference between category 1 and category 2. See, category 1 can only be introduced in Lok Sabha. Okay, category 1 can only be introduced in Lok Sabha. ठीक है, category 2 can be introduced by the prior permission of president, but the president will have authority to decide in which house shall it be introduced, because in category 1 we have both income and expenditure, whereas in category 2 we only have expenditure. ठीक है, and money bill, it can be only introduced in Lok Sabha. Category 1 bill only introduced in Lok Sabha, but rest it will behave as ordinary bill. Category 2 can be introduced in either house depending on the discretion of the president. President will write it has to be introduced in Raj Sabha or Lok Sabha, and then it will behave as ordinary bill. ठीक है, money bill is money bill. It is not an ordinary bill, only introduced in Lok Sabha. ठीक है, who is the deciding person? Speaker. Speaker will certify whether it is a money bill or not. Third, Raj Sabha has no power on money bill. If Raj Sabha rejects the money bill, within 14 days, it's passed by default. And the President of India does not have any authority to put that bill in to use any veto power. Okay, pocket veto and all. He should by default pass it, money bill. Okay. Raj Sabha, if it is providing any recommendation, either Lok Sabha will look into it and pass it again, or Lok Sabha will not do anything and it will get automatically passed within 14 days. Ordinary bill, I have told you, if it is introduced in Lok Sabha passes, Raj Sabha passes. First case. Second, Lok Sabha introduced, RS Raj Sabha provides an amendment. Lok Sabha looks into it, agrees, updates it, Raj Sabha pass. Lok Sabha does not agrees, does not update it, there is tie. Joint session of parliament is called by President of India, presided by the Speaker. That's it. So we have discussed it. Okay. Then about the sessions of the parliament. I have taught them before, but I am just doing it again. Sessions of parliament. At least there must be two sessions every year, because as per the constitution, the maximum time difference between two consecutive sessions should be of 6 months. But in India, we have three sessions: budget session, which is from February to May. Then we have monsoon session, July and August. Then we have winter session. It is the shortest session. December and January. Budget is the session which is the first session of a year. All the members of parliament comes, and it starts with a presidential address. President addresses both the house of the session, both the house of the parliament, and once the budget, it ends with a vote of thanks. ठीक है, vote of thanks. Here it should get passed by the Lok Sabha, because it is money bill, and Lok Sabha it must pass because it proves the majority of the government. Raj Sabha, it's mere formality. You pass it or don't pass it, it does not matter. So Raj Sabha क्या करेगा? पास कर देगा. जब लोक सभा में पास हो रहा है तो बजट वोट ऑफ थैंक्स को पास कर देना चाहिए. प्रेसिडेंट भी रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं, क्योंकि एट द एंड इट इज द party which is in power is enjoying the authority of or the support of Lok Sabha. They have the majority over there, so there is no issue that the Raj Sabha should not pass them. But certain time Raj Sabha is also amending it and passing it. तो मनी बिल है, अमेंडमेंट किया तो लोकसभा कुछ नहीं करता है, चुपचाप रहता है, 14 दिन में बाय डिफॉल्ट पास हो जाता है. पर ऐसा करना नहीं चाहिए. इवन द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया सर्टेन टाइम, because initially when BJP came into power, they did not have majority in Raj Sabha. So even the president Pranab Mukherjee said, you should let the vote of thanks, which is the budget, pass without providing any amendment. But the Congress, which was having just 44 members in Lok Sabha and did not have the position of leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, were asserting themselves in Raj Sabha, whatever it might be. But as a tradition, Raj Sabha should pass it. Okay? Because it does not hampers, na. The government is having absolute majority in Lok Sabha. It's a money bill, so they should pass it. Okay? Special session, other than budget session, monsoon session, winter session, we have special session. Special session. See, special sessions are of two types: parliamentary special session. A special session has been called upon by the President of India. Second, it is Lok Sabha special session, and this is what has only happened. Here, in Parliament, special sessions are introduced to discuss a matter of emergency. Lok Sabha special session only to terminate ongoing national emergency. I have told you national emergency is under Article 352. Article 352. Okay? Just to terminate it, Lok Sabha is called upon for a special session. Special session is also called by Parliament, both the houses, to discuss matter of extremely urgent importance. Okay? Hope guys you are able to understand up till here. Is there any issue? See, We have seen the termination of session. Who terminates the session? President of India. Okay. He terminates the session. It is also known as prorogue the session. President of India. Then we have adjournment, which is known as temporary session. Sorry, temporary termination. ठीक है. ठीक है. It is done by speaker. ठीक है. It is temporary in nature. It is of two types. Sine die. That means until further notice. Another where the notice is given. The session is terminated for today and till tomorrow 4 p.m. Defined period. Sine die is undefined period until further notice. When we were in when we were in college in second year, so there was a fight between the third year and fourth year. And that fight became very brutal by the third year and fourth year, and it was extremely brutal. So what actually happened, the college got closed for third year and fourth year, sine die, that was until further notice. Okay. So all the third year guys and the fourth year guys has to leave. Okay. But fourth year session was already exceeding by 6 months. So within 10 days, the fourth year guys were brought back, and the third year, until further notice, it was stopped because the clash was happening. So if they would have said that third year has to leave, so in that case, fourth year would have got encouragement. So while the third year would be leaving, the fourth year guy would be harassing them. So the college first announced sine die for both of them. Okay. After everyone went to their home, because we were in Andhra Pradesh, it was much away from urban area, so student had to leave. There was no other arrangement. Only college was there in that wildlife area. So after 10 days, every fourth year guy got a call from college that you will have to return immediately. So they returned, and third year was not there. So final year students examination and everything was conducted. So after the examination were conducted, they were asked to leave. Then the third year people were called upon. Third year examination happened. They were asked to leave. Okay, once they left, then the final year were called and given provisional certificates. And once the final year student got provisional certificate, again the third year was called and the college resumed. Similarly, in parliament also there are certain emergency. Either the emergency is national emergency, or the opposition member or the members have become very violent. It has happened in Indian parliament. The members have become violent. So the speaker announced the adjournment of house sine die until further notice. Or in case of any emergency, when the members of parliament are requested to be in their respective constituency. For example, there is flood in eastern India, Assam, Bihar, Bengal, Odisha. So this large many number of people should be in their constituency. So sine die. Okay. Or some cyclonic activity. So sine die. Okay. Third is dissolution. Dissolution. See, the Lok Sabha can be dissolved. Can the parliament be dissolved? Answer it. Can the parliament of India can be dissolved? See, parliament cannot be dissolved because parliament comprises of both Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha is a permanent house. Okay, so the parliament cannot be dissolved. Only the Lok Sabha can be dissolved. And who decides on the dissolution of the Lok Sabha? The President of India. The President of India. He decides. He declares the dissolution of Lok Sabha. ठीक है. by the aid and advice dissolution of Lok Sabha by aid and advice of Prime Minister and Council of Minister. देखो, here also there is a catch. This decision of President of India to declare to dissolve Lok Sabha by aid and advice of Prime Minister and Council of Minister is only binding as long as the Prime Minister and the Council of Minister are enjoying majority in Lok Sabha. In case the Prime Minister and Council of Minister does not enjoy the majority in Lok Sabha, it is the discretion of President of India to accept that advice. Okay, when Prime Minister and Council of Minister have lost confidence of House, then it is the discretion of Prime Minister of India. In 90s till 2000, in between from 95, 96, 97, 98 time, there were government of alliances, and these government were not for longer period of time, for very short period of time. And there were incidences where there was midterm elections in India, one or twice. Okay. So that time it is the President of India who has to take a call, whether to dissolve or give opportunity of the largest alliance or the party to form the government. Okay. So that time it is the discretion of President of India whether to dissolve or not to dissolve. Okay. Now, let's see how the bill gets passed in parliament and state legislature. Okay. See how the bill. See, why I am teaching it now like this is that I just want that there should be no doubt in your mind that you will be able to clear the examination or not. I'll tell you why. When we were preparing for mains, the 7 of my students were always doubtful whether they will get interview call or not. I was always clear that they will get. So 6 of them got interview call. Okay. And after they got interview call, these were very overconfident that they will get it. While I was sending them links for current affairs and I guided them. But the thing was that they did prepare for mains in a firefighting approach. No, they were very much prepared that believing that they will be able to clear interview. Unfortunately, none of them could clear interview. So now I have re-strategized myself. I know there are certain sections where you should not only be prepared for the prelims, but that section you should be also prepared for your mains. Okay. So I believe if your polity and one of your optional paper, one paper of your optional is prepared, so that time there won't be any diciness in your preparation. Okay. So kindly be assured that both your current affairs will start after 15th and we will also do revisions in between. Okay. And I will look for involving few other faculties also because I have to pay them heavily. I certainly will not be paying from my pocket. So let's see, okay, how the bill get passed in parliament and state legislature. Okay. Parliament of India or President of India, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. Ordinary bill introduced in any of the house. First case, Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha passes it. Rajya Sabha passes it. First incident. President of India gives assent. कहानी खत्म. Second, राज्यसभा passes it. Sorry, Lok Sabha passes it. राज्यसभा passes it. President of India vetoes it. ठीक है. Absolute veto and suspensive veto. ठीक है. तो एब्सोल्यूट वीटो में क्या होता है ना, देखो, वीटोज इट. एब्सोल्यूट वीटो में क्या होता है, उसके पास एब्सोल्यूट पावर होता है. बट इन इंडिया देयर इज नो सच ट्रेडिशन. ओके, so he will suspensive veto means he will ask the houses to pass it for second time or reconsider it. So second time they have passed, so the president of India must be giving assent. ठीक है. थर्ड केस क्या हो सकता है, लोकसभा पास, राज्यसभा पास, प्रेसिडेंट वेंट फॉर पॉकेट वीटो. मतलब इसमें क्या किया ना, कोई डिसीजन नहीं ले पा रहा है. द प्रेसिडेंट इज नॉट टेकिंग एनी डिसीजन, has kept it in a perpetual pending mode. So that is pocket veto. Generally, this is not the tradition. The president will ask the houses to reconsider it, and if the houses passed it after reconsidering it, the president is forced to give the assent. If they pass it without reconsidering it, so they are undermining the office of president. So this will not happen. Traditionally, this will not happen. If they are undermining the office of president, they will remove it because Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha is powerful. So when he asked to reconsider it, for example, when Lalu Prasad Yadav was booked under Representative of People's Act 1956, so he was expected to resign from his post of railway minister. Okay, but unfortunately, there was an ordinance which was passed by the Congress government that he should not be resigned, and it was passed by the President of India. Second, they wanted to bring in a bill like that, and it also was getting passed. So the President of India advised them to reconsider it. Okay, and when he has advised them to reconsider it, the Congress did not took that bill. Okay, for getting it passed in Rajya Sabha, Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha, they remain silent. So the bill get lapsed. Okay, so this way, pocket veto, if President of India is also not doing, because traditionally it will go against the people, those who have elected him. But in your exam, yes, he can have absolute veto, but it is not a tradition. Suspensive veto, yes, he will ask them to reconsider. The houses, if they pass it for the second time, he is forced to pass it. He must give his assent. But most of the time, when he is asking them to reconsider, he is doing it on a valid ground, on the aid and advice of legal experts. So in that case, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha let the bill lapse. Okay. In pocket veto, he will not give in his assent, either his approval or disapproval. He will keep it in pocket. This is pocket veto, but it is not done. Pocket veto किस केस में होता है, I will tell you. It is done in case where a person is asking for mercy petition. So in that case, they are not taking any final decision. They are putting it in a pocket veto and let the next president decide it, because they don't want to be the reason for someone's death. It was done by Pratibha Patil, but after that, the president who came, he took the decision. Okay. So this is case of ordinary bill. Lok Sabha passes it, Rajya Sabha passes it, president gives assent. Rajya Sabha passes it, Lok Sabha passes it, president gives assent. If in either of the house there is any disagreement, then the president is forced to call upon the joint sitting of the parliament. And in the joint sitting of the parliament, Lok Sabha has the majority, and the joint sitting is presided by the Speaker of the House. So the Lok Sabha will pass it because of their brute majority. Okay. Now in case of money bill, it is prior approved by President of India, certified by Lok Sabha passed it, Raj Sabha passed it, President of India gives his accent. ठीक है, राज्यसभा disapproves it, no issue on it. The President of India will give his approval. Raj Sabha withholds it after 14 days. Accent given by the President of India. ठीक है. No case of joint session. No joint session. ठीक है, यहां तक समझ में आया. Other financial bill, category 1, category 2, article 117, clause 1, subclause 1, sorry, clause 1, article 117, subclause 3, deals with expense and income, both must be introduced in Lok Sabha. Rest ordinary bill. Whatever is done with ordinary bill, same thing applies over here. Deals with only expenditure. Discretionary power of President to be introduced whether in Lok Sabha. It is recommended by the President to introduce in Lok Sabha or Raj Sabha. Here the President will recommend, not discretionary. He will give the recommendation where it has to be introduced. In that house, it will get introduced. Okay? Similar to ordinary bill. Rest similar to ordinary bill. Okay? Constitutional amendment bill can be introduced in either of the house. No joint session. Okay? Constitutional amendment bill is generally brought by the public member, generally, not by the private member. Okay? Who are the public member? Members of the Council of Ministers and the Prime Minister. They are the public members, so they are generally doing it. It does not needs prior approval of President. Needs prior approval of President. There are two incidences. Special majority is needed in both Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha. What is special majority? 2/3 of total member in both the house present, those who are present that day, and voting. Second, it should have 50%, more than 50% of total membership voting in their favor. Voting इन फेवर, ठीक है। सर्टेन केस में क्या होता है, 50% स्टेट्स शुड ऑल्सो पास इट, ठीक है। 24th कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट क्या बोलता है, द प्रेसिडेंट कैन नॉट वीटो एनीथिंग इन द केस ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट बिल, प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया नो वीटो पावर। तो प्रेसिडेंट को वीटो कहाँ नहीं है, मनी बिल में नहीं है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट में नहीं है, ठीक है। समझ में आ गया। अब देखिए स्टेट में क्या होगा, बाय कैमरल स्टेट, फर्स्ट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस, ठीक है। स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली, ठीक है। स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल, only money bill can be introduced here. Constitutional amendment bill which has been passed by the parliament, it has become act, it will not come for approval in state legislative council, it will only come for approval in state legislative assembly, where the 50% of and more of the state has to be passed, ठीक है। ऑर्डिनरी बिल के केस में क्या है, it is passed by state legislative council and state legislative assembly approves it, गवर्नमेंट गवर्नर गिव्स द एक्सेंट, ठीक है। इट इज पास्ड बाय द स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली, ठीक है। स्टेट स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल एंड कम्स टू स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली, इट डज नॉट अप्रूव्स इट, इट गेट्स लैप्स्ड। व्हाई, यहां पे पोजीशन ऑफ इक्विटी नहीं है, इसका कुछ लेना देना नहीं है, ठीक है। थर्ड कंडीशन, it is passed by both the house, the governor in third condition passed by state legislative assembly, state legislative council, the governor reserves it for presidential review. I will teach you about this in the in the governor section. Here, after the Madras High Court judgment, the governor, when reserving it for the presidential review, has to give it in under a defined frame, defined under defined time frame. You can't keep it for perpetually. You have to give the defined time frame, and that should be not more than, I will have to look it, not more than 1 month time, I think so. Let me see. This is a recent judgment, but just let me see. So the defined time frame by the Supreme Court is that of 3 months. Okay, the president can keep the bill with himself for 3 months, and the governor has to take the decision within month. Government has to take the decision within 1 month. If he has to give the bill for the reconsideration to the president, and the president has to take the decision within 3 months, 3 months deadline. Okay. In case of money bill, state legislative assembly passes it, state legislative council have not much power. Okay, they have to pass it. If they reject it, within 14 days the governor will pass it, ठीक है। Constitutional Amendment Act, I have told you, in certain act state legislature have to take action, so it is only state legislative assembly where the Constitutional Amendment Act which has been passed by the president will come in their state. State legislative assembly, state legislative council has no power, ठीक है। And it has to be passed by majority of the state, more than 50% of the state. So government manages it, the central government will manage it. Okay. So in the case of GST, they managed it. Okay. So with this, we have completed and compared both the parliament and state legislature. One thing I want you guys to remember, you might get confused when the bill get lapsed in parliament. Condition when the bill get lapse. Why they get lapse? Because of the dissolution of Lok Sabha. Dissolution of Lok Sabha. यही है आपके एग्जाम में. ठीक है, 4 कंडीशन है. पहला क्या है? बिल विच इज ओरिजिनेटेड इन लोकसभा एंड इट्स पेंडिंग ओवर देयर. तो नई लोकसभा आएगी, वो नया से काम करेगी, तो इट गेट्स लैप्स्ड. सेकेंड, bill which is originated and passed by the Rajya Sabha, originated and passed by Rajya Sabha, तो उसमें लोकसभा फिर से आएगी और बोलेगी कि भाई पुराने लोकसभा के समय ऐसा हुआ था, हमारे समय में आप रीस्टार्ट करो, तो लैप्स. थर्ड, बिल ओरिजिनेटेड इन लोकसभा, passed by लोकसभा and pending बिफोर राज्यसभा. ठीक है, तो पुराने लोकसभा ने काम किया था ना, अभी राज्यसभा अगर पास भी कर देगी तो प्रेजेंट जो गवर्नमेंट है वही एड एंड एडवाइस देगा प्राइम मिनिस्टर को. अगर गलत दे दिया तो कि मत करो इसको, एक्सेंट मत दो, तो लैप्स्ड. ठीक है, इसीलिए. फोर्थ, बिल ओरिजिनेटेड इन राज्यसभा, passed by Rajya Sabha, but Lok Sabha returned it with amendment. It with amendment. They returned it to whom? To Rajya Sabha. Then it is either pending in Rajya Sabha, ठीक है, and there is it's pending in Rajya Sabha. ठीक है, again it is considered lapsed. It has to be restarted. ठीक है. So these are the 4 conditions: originating in Rajya Sabha, pending in, originating in Lok Sabha, pending in Lok Sabha, originating in Rajya Sabha, pending in Rajya Sabha. These 2 are easy. Originating in Lok Sabha, passed by Lok Sabha, pending in Rajya Sabha. Third, it's easy because new Lok Sabha will come. They will look on the things from a new light. Bill originated in Rajya Sabha, passed by Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha's amendment it and returned it to the Rajya Sabha. ठीक है. Now there is no new Lok Sabha. So new Lok Sabha may not agree with the amendment given by the last Lok Sabha. Again, the bill is pending. So these are the 4 conditions of bill getting lapsed. So with this, the class comes to an end. Tomorrow we have no class. Okay, because I will take a break for tomorrow and day after tomorrow until 13th. Okay. Oh, just 1 minute.